Hello and welcome to my September 2019 PS Plus Roundup. So the games this month were Batman Arkham Knight and Darksiders 3. I'll start with Batman. So Batman Arkham Knight was released in 2015 and it is the fourth in the series following Arkham Asylum, Arkham City and Arkham Origins in no particular order. It's developed by Rocksteady Studios and takes up 48.25 gigabytes on the PlayStation. So, Arkham Knight. I'm not a Batman fan, and I was very surprised at how much I really liked this game. I only played a couple of hours. I played more than I expected, to be fair, and I wanted to play more, that was the thing. It is open world, excuse me, it is set in the same universe as the previous games, but obviously not the same universe as the films, etc. And instantly, upon playing, I felt like I had entered this world, this living and breathing world that I've already missed so much because I haven't played the previous games. It just felt breathing, you know? And there was so much in those couple of hours that I liked about this game. So, instantly, it's a bold claim, but I've played 2 hours of this game and I've played, how many hours of Spider-Man now? Like, I'm 2/3 of the way through it. And I liked this better than Spider-Man, which came as an absolute surprise. That could just be, again, because it's already got an established world, but I don't know what the reason is. Like, to me, the mission variety, like I say, 2 hours in or whatever I was, and I never did the same thing once, if that makes sense. Like, the variety was class. It wasn't just combat. I think I only did combat once. There was exploration, there was like being a detective, and there was meeting lots of characters, there was the Batmobile. I just felt like, and then obviously you can fly, well, you can glide, you can use your grapple thing, so you can almost move around like Spider-Man anyway. But movement was fun, the missions were fun, the characters were interesting, I enjoyed the dialogue, I enjoyed the intro. I hated it, but I loved it because it scared me. That's not why I loved it. I hated it because it was scary, but I loved it because it was a surprise. It was not what I was expecting at all. And all this game has done for me has made me think, yes, stop playing this because I want to play the others first and catch up on everything that I've missed out on. And I've always said, if anything is going to get me into Batman, because I can't get away with the films, it's going to be the games. And I think I was actually right, which is, I'm so happy about. I actually saw Joker after, like, a few days after I played this game, and I also really loved Joker. It was such a good film. So maybe it's the start of something for me. I'm going to try and explore the DC universe a bit more. But going back to the game, one thing as well that I loved about it was that I could see, potentially, I don't know for sure, but I could potentially see where the game was going. So we got introduced into this police station because we took a villain there, and then I did a lot of exploring in the police station, and there was lots of cells, and obviously we could talk to a lot of the ground cops and stuff like that. There was a mission board where we had to decide what mission we want to do. We're free to pursue the story mission if we want, or we can go on side quests, which I'm assuming the side quests will be worth doing. They all seemed very interesting. I wanted to do them. And the thing about the prison that excited me was the fact that, first of all, again, it felt like a living, breathing place. I can only assume, I don't know if it does, I can only assume that it will keep evolving as the game goes on. It kind of reminds me of a bit, like in Red Dead Redemption 2. If you go back to your camp, I absolutely love going back to the camp and just chatting to people and see what's happening and see, you know, what's new, see what people are being up to and stuff. And maybe the prison won't be in that much detail as far as the NPCs go, but if the cells start getting full, I think that is so cool. So like there was actually a statistic on the wall or something that said 1 out of 99 cells or something like that are full. So even if it is just side quests or if it's I don't know, main quest, whatever, filling up those cells is a really, really cool concept in my opinion. You can keep coming back, you can see how far you've got, you can see, you know, the people that you've caught. I just think it's awesome, especially because like the first person that you caught is already in the cells when you go as well. So I think that's such a neat idea, and that really encourages me to come back because when you can see the progression in front of you, like that's what I like in a game. Well, it's not all I like in a game, but that is exciting to me. It's, like I say, same as Red Dead Redemption 2 type vibe for me, where it's like go back and see what's new. Stuff like that. And having a little hub that evolves, I like that. There's one in Wolfenstein as well. I haven't played the games, but I've watched them, and I always just felt at peace going back when they went back home and just checked in on everyone and seen what had changed. I just love that concept in games. So what else about Batman? Yeah, traversal was very fun. I enjoyed getting about. It was easy to get about. I felt like it was easy to avoid whatever was going on the ground. If you didn't want to join in at that point, it felt very much like Carnage. Like I did mention during my video, the city, it just felt like the Purge. I guess it's supposed to because it's been like basically taken over by supervillains, but like it was a vibe that I didn't expect. I think that's where DC can do well as opposed to Marvel. Not that I want to bring Marvel into it, but going for the dark stuff is like exciting. It was unexpected for me. Like this isn't a game for kids, which for some reason in my head I guess I must have thought it was, but pretty soon I was like, Sean, no, this is not for kids. This is barely for me. So I like that it's a grown-up game. Even if I don't find Batman that interesting himself, there's plenty of other characters that are interesting enough, and I wonder if you get to know him a bit more. Obviously, again, in the previous games you probably do, but I wonder if you get any Bruce Wayne type sections as opposed to being Batman all the time. I've got no idea. So when this came free, only like a couple of weeks prior or something, all three of the four of the collection were also free on the Epic Store, which I claimed. So I'm actually going to be able to go back. I'll miss out the first one, I think it is. Is that Asylum? Or Origin? No, Asylum, I think. I think it goes Asylum's the first one, then, which I haven't got, but then City was free on Epic, so I'm going to play that. I've also played the demo of City before, and I thought that was actually pretty cool. There's more combat in that, but there will be more combat in Arkham Knight as well. I just didn't get to it yet. But Arkham, City, and then Origins. I think I've got this in the right order. So I also have Origins on Epic, so I've got to play City, then Origins, then Night, because I definitely sensed there was a lot more to the story. So I'm gonna, like, that's the takeaway that I've got from this, is that I'm gonna play all the games. I'm very interested in seeing what happens, which is not something I ever thought I'd say about Batman. So I'll move on to Darksiders next. Darksiders 3 was the second game of the month. It was 43.69 gigabytes on the PlayStation. It was released in 2018, and I have it down as not even being a year old, so it must have been late 2018. So it's a pretty new game to be getting for free. I've got it written down as a hack and slash action adventure video game that developed by Gunfire Games. I would say that's accurate. It had Souls vibes for me. I'm not a Souls player, but it did feel like that to me. I don't know if it was because the lack of checkpoints and just the system of, was it when you were, God, I should have filmed this sooner. Was it when you were killing something and then you would get souls, but it wasn't souls, but then you would lose them all if you died. I think that was how it worked, and that was kind of giving me the vibes. So anyone who watched the video will see I didn't get too far in that, but again, similar to Batman, I actually really like the concept, like in the world and stuff. So anyone who doesn't know anything about Darksiders, apparently all 3 games play very differently. So whereas this one feels more of a Souls type, the previous 2 have a different kind of genre feeling to them. They're all about the same characters though. So the 4 horsemen are the main characters, and in this one you play Fury, who is the female of the 4, and I can't remember exactly the story, but the villains are the 7 deadly sins. And in the intro that we played, the first one that we come across is Envy, who is this like magpie, well, dead magpie creature. Like, that's not even an accurate description, just this ugly bird. And I tried a few times to do the fight. It's not even difficult, that's the thing. Like, you just got to do the right attack and the right block at the right time, and then there's a bit of platforming in between. But you got to be quick enough to do it, and I ended up getting really frustrated, and I never managed to finish it. There is different difficulty levels, so if I was doing it again, I would just go on the easiest level. I don't know why I didn't in the first place, because that's just for people who want to experience the story more than the challenge. But there are also very difficult levels. Like, I'm pretty sure one of the levels said basically permadeath. So if you die, then that's it. So that is not something that you are going to do on your first playthrough. But it adds for replayability, I guess, if you are into those kind of challenges. So I can't really comment on the controls or the combat or anything like that, because nothing stood out to us. It was alright, you know. I like the characters, I like the story, I like the vibe. I was intrigued to see where it's gonna go. I think I will watch it. And something that I found out after is that Darksiders Genesis is coming out. If I've got the right name, I'm pretty sure it's called Genesis. I should fact check really before recording, shouldn't I? But I watched a stream the other day. It is a co-op game, and it is actually a prequel to all of the games, so it is an entry point if you want to get into the Darksiders series. Again though, it plays very differently. It is more, how do I describe? I've seen this type of style. It was a type of style of one of the previous PS Plus games that I played. It's like action. Is it a action RPG? But it's where like the camera is above, not top down, but hopefully you can tell what I mean. It's not like third person style. It's like a bit above, and obviously because it's co-op, you can play online with someone, or you can play it on your own as well. And obviously it kind of reminds me of the Lego games in the sense that each character has their own ability, and you're going to have to switch between characters to use their ability to get past certain points. There is also, again, combat and platforming. I think that must be kind of a staple of the series. And yeah, like I said, that is a prequel. And obviously, potentially one of the reasons that we got Darksiders is for a bit of hype for that game, maybe. I'm I'm not sure if it was announced at that point. I didn't even know anything about the series when I played it, so I don't know if it was announced or not, but I just found it interesting that this month there was no online games. Darksiders 3 and Batman Arkham Knight. I think Batman had online leaderboards and stuff, but I think it might not have actually. In my head, I'm remembering after I did the Riddler challenge. No, I think I might be making that up. Either way, it hasn't got like any co-op, play with your friends type settings. So I found that interesting because is it pretty much every other month has had that. So yeah, I did find that an interesting observation because obviously the draw of PS Plus is that you can play online as well, and every other month they've catered for friends that may want to play a game together. But they didn't do that this month, but I'm not complaining because I don't play online anyway. And actually overall I thought it was a very good month. The games were fairly similar actually, like sometimes they'll do polar opposite games. These were both kind of action, adventure, third person fighter games based on kind of superheroes. So it was actually quite a cohesive month, which is good for people that like that kind of thing, but I guess it might annoy people that don't like that kind of thing. Either way, I think that both of the games are worth trying for sure, especially Batman. Batman, if you want to go deep into a story and have freedom. Darksiders, if you want to play a linear action game. That's how I would describe these games this month, and whether you should play them or not. But I would recommend trying them for sure, especially if you like story. If you're not so keen on story, even then it might be good because they were fun as well. Like, well, Darksiders not so much for me, but for people that like combat it could be fun. And I can't deny, like, I don't think anyone can deny that Batman was fun. Because you can choose which parts you want to do. So overall, I really like this month. It's probably one of my favourite months, I would say. That feels bold, but I would put it up there as one of my favourites. Despite the fact that I'm not going to get to play Darksiders, really. And the fact that it's going to be a while before I can play Arkham Knight. But it has really got me interested. I can't do predictions for next month because I've already actually recorded the games. So the next one is October, and it is The Last of Us Remastered and Major League Baseball The Show 19. So you'll see how that goes in my next videos. Thank you for listening. If you got any comments, please do let me know. I'd love to know, like, if anyone's listened to the end. Have you only listened to the podcast? Have you watched any of the videos? How did you find the podcast or the video? Like, I'm always interested in all that information. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter and obviously YouTube. So yeah, that might sound stupid because you could be watching on YouTube, but this is for anyone that might be listening to the podcast. So look me up on there if you want, and that's where I stay up to date about the games that I'm playing, stuff like that. And then I like to, just put some screenshots and silly quotes and stuff on. So anyway, now I'm blabbering. So that was September of 2019, and I will get caught up before the end of the year because I've decided I'm doing a year video as well. And I'm planning it right now, and I'm quite excited to put it together. So, a summary of 2019 PS Plus. So, and then I can get ready to start on 2020, which hopefully should be exciting. So, thank you for listening, and I will catch you later. Bye bye.